Right, I've pressed
Okay.
record. Talk bollocks. It's November, just gone November. We got no president yet. Who cares? And we're going to lockdown tomorrow, and I'm eating Haribo. We're going to
Woody's
talk.
round up.
We're
Get
going to
in.
talk. We're going to talk shit for an hour because we can't be asked to watch any fucking movies because X-Men I hate, and it's just killed me. And I really thought, right, that you was going to say, let's do a top 12 of all the X-Men movies. I was just going to say, nah. I was going to go, boy.
Well, we were due to do that at some point, but you know,
Yeah.
at the moment
Like
we'll
you
wait.
said, wait for me to come off my bike on the canal. That'll be fine.
When I fix the MacBook, I've got to edit that. I've got the picture ready, and there's some wonderful photographs of you and me, Mark, looking like we're sleeping as the screenshot to advertise Wolverine, the Wolverine trilogy of films. So yeah, the snore fest that they are. Right, we've got a few things to talk about. I thought we can't really sort of round up October and not mention Sean Connery, the great Sean Connery, who died a few days ago. So yeah, Bond he is. Salute the man. Yeah, he was brilliant.
He was also a bit of a bastard, though.
Chicago.
A lot of people keep forgetting the fact that he enjoyed to give a woman a good slap, and they I don't matter. It's all right, no worries.
Whoa, when did you turn into a snowflake month?
He withdrew it later in life and claimed that he didn't state it, but yeah, there's plenty of one saying, yes, there's nothing wrong with giving a woman a good slap. Yeah, Sean, I think he was of his day and age.
Yeah.
So was Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good comparison.
To be fair, I don't think anyone ever thought that messing with kids was all right.
No, I'm just.
You know, quadriplegic. Yeah, you know, just fucking somebody who can't move in a hospital bed. Yeah, it used to be fine. Yeah, those were the days when you used to be able to have a heavily disabled child and have sex with them and then walk away and no one was the wiser. Oh, those were the days. Back in the 70s, that was all fine. I don't think it was. I could be wrong.
What a comparison! What a comparison!
No, if you think about
only the monk can draw that one.
If Sean Connery,
yes, I was messing with some small children only the other day. There can be only one. Don't tell anyone.
Brilliant.
I swim veg, good and flowery. Bring on Roger.
So yeah,
and John Sessions passing away as well.
Yeah, John Sessions.
Stella Street was such a fun, brilliant, just little 5-minute programs with just two of them impersonating everybody. It's fantastic.
And talking of acceptable wife slapping, it seems that Johnny Depp is in trouble now, innit? Because the judge says, well, there's enough evidence to say that you did do it, so how can we have it for defamation?
Don't you think it's really weird how everybody is like, no, it's wrong. This is Amber Heard's the problem. Well, how do we know? We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, you know, she was obviously a nightmare, but how do we know he's not done it? I'm really surprised at the way. It's a bit like everybody says
on that one. The judge has gone, no, she's telling the truth. You're lying. I'm just very much. I'm more on for not commenting on this because, frankly, I'm not a believer in Amber Heard anyway. Johnny Depp's had how long we've been with various women, whatever, and never. Or they've all come. The ex-misses, the ex-girlfriends, all that, all coming forward saying, "What a nice guy," or never been nasty. He's a druggie and he's a flaming drunk. But from all things, he's never been abusive. But Amber Heard does seem like if anyone's going to make you violent, she'll make you violent. So who knows? I'd rather not be going for or against anybody on this one. To be frank,
it's a strange one, isn't it? It's a bit like the old cliche. I can't be racist. My next door neighbour and me, mate, he's black. Well, you can be, or people saying R. Kelly definitely guilty. He's done all that, but Michael Jackson definitely hasn't. Well, how the bloody hell do you know? So yeah, I don't know. It was a bit messy.
I know how I kind of feel about which way I'd fall, but I don't feel strongly enough about it to want to talk about it particularly.
Let's be honest though.
The side of entertainment I'd rather not be involved in.
Let's be honest though, it's a career killer that, and if it has gone the way it looks, then he's not long for doing much in films, which is probably not a bad. It's not a bad year to be found guilty or something, is it? So, yeah.
Well, he's not been found guilty. He's the one who brought the case.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
So they're upholding.
They've thrown it out.
They're upholding is that they've provided enough evidence, and they're going on verbal abuse and things like that. It's as I say, it's a slippery path to go down on this.
Yeah, Amber Heard has a slippery path to go down. Spider-Man 3. Now, Tom Holland has said that he's received his script on an iPad. And the guy who plays Ned looks particularly excited as well. Yeah, yeah, and they've started making it. How does everybody feel about it?
Well, same as every other one. Fantastic, brilliant. It's another Spider-Man film. Lovely, fantastic. The guy playing Ned, what the hell's his name now? I can't remember. But Jesus Christ, how much weight he's lost.
I know, he's got trim now,
he's getting a shot at playing Hobgoblin at some point.
I'm really looking forward to watching the movie in 2025.
You think that soon? Not bad.
It's not going to meet its deadline. Well, it's going to. I'll be surprised if they make it in time to meet its release date. But I don't think
it's easy for you to say.
Another one that will be filmed inside on like the same stuff they've used for the Mandalorian.
I don't know. I don't know where it's being filmed. All I know is there's
some of the stuff's being filmed like that, isn't it? Some of the Disney stuff.
All I know is there's a lot of confusion around who's going to be in it and what Sony are doing with expanding the Sony universe into it. So I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one for me.
You're seeing tons of casting things where they're saying about like Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and Benedict Cumberbatch and
Venom,
Elizabeth Olsen and all that. Who's going to be in it?
Venom might make an appearance.
Was it the latest one? Michael J. Fox possibly as Uncle Ben.
I wouldn't be surprised what they do with it. To be honest, I just think that the biggest problem they've got is the current MCU slate. I don't know when they can release it because I know one thing: Sony's going to get pissed off having to keep putting it back. Not just because of the coronavirus, but because of also slotting in with the MCU release. Because they're not going to release Spider-Man. Well, Marvel aren't going to want Spider-Man coming out when they haven't had the films that need to come before
feed into it.
That leads into it coming out. Haven't been released.
I mean, you just don't know what's supposed to lead into it at the moment. If they had to change things. The only thing that I think they'll need for certain is the Scarlet Witch, and then I don't know whether Doctor Strange will lead into it or out of it.
Out of it.
Because the multiverse of madness seems to be a big deal.
It's just Eternals and Black Widow. That's supposed to come before it, I think, isn't it? And Shang-Chi or whatever.
Shang-Chi, yeah, that's I know that's wrapped, hasn't it? So that's going into post-production now. So it's just when all this stuff's going to come out, which leads me on to the next bit, which is Mystic Munt. So talk us through all rumours of delays.
So 50% of the time he's right all the time.
I said back in May, June that they would end up putting the whole of the MCU back an entire year, and turns out I was right. But now we're going into this second wave, and the Yanks just haven't even had a dip on their first wave before the second wave hits. There's no chance of the cinemas being open for distribution. I just can't see anything happening going into 21. I think we're going to see where they push the dates back originally 6 months. I think they're going to have to do the same again. And they're going to have to give us another 6 months and see what happens. But I wouldn't be surprised if we end up having to have Black Widow go onto streaming just because of what's backed up.
Just to be able to release things in a reasonable time.
It's like I said, because
I suspect that this may be a New Mutant style thing where they've got to release stuff for at least a week at the cinema or something to hit contractual demands.
Yeah.
Because I can't see
with
Scarlett
Marvel now,
Johansson being
because
signed up for a direct-to-streaming
contract-
sort of...
with Marvel, Disney own it outright from the start. With the Fox part, the dealings and contracts was done before Marvel was part of it. It's all different now. They can
but if the actors have already signed a contract that this will go to the cinema, and that is a fairly regular clause.
They own it all in whole. They can do whatever they want, like they did with Mulan, like they did with what they're going to do with Soul at Christmas, which is going to straight to Disney Plus release now. They've got to do something. I can't see cinemas. Wonder Woman isn't coming out at Christmas. Not a fucking chance.
Nor James Bond.
Well, can't do. Most of them can't do now.
No. I think, let's be honest, the whole of this year is finished. Cinema will be closed, and I think all you can hope is by the end of Q1, so heading into the spring, if we've got vaccines available and treatments and whatever a lot better, we may start seeing cinemas reopen. But at the current state of affairs, in the Northern Hemisphere in particular, you've got no chance.
Well, the problem is
it's all just been much, much worse than anyone thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The problem is twofold, isn't
3
it?
months, that's going to be ages. 6 months, that's going to be ages. 9 months, 12 months, whatever.
After Tenet tried to do something, and you got Nolan kicking up a fuss saying, "Oh, it's done well because we've had the coronavirus," which is fair enough. It has done well considering there wasn't many cinemas, but no studio is going to take a risk on a big tentpole movie now to test the waters until things are back to normal. So you got on the one hand, you got the cinemas, the studios turning around and said, "I'm not going to risk putting it in a cinema." But the problem is, cinema isn't going to survive if they've got nothing to show. People aren't going to go and watch stuff they can already see at home and on streaming and stuff at any time. So the novelty,
not unless you make it an event or something.
A novelty of a greatest hits at the cinemas just isn't going to work. So there's going to be a problem where there ain't going to be no fucking cinemas left to show this in, because not just the independent places are going to die, the large massive chains are struggling.
Yep.
AMC is not going to make it in America the way it's looking.
Well, as soon as a lockdown hits, of course, a cinema, like a restaurant or anything, is going to be closed straight away. It's not essential, and it's a big place for people to gather and to be close to each other and stuff. No matter what protection you do or what you put in place, it's going to be closed down.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's going to need help. It's going to need help. Governments are going to have to back and help.
Well, they're not stupid at Disney, because what Disney have said is they have changed their plan for the next 2 years, and they are investing in streaming as opposed to investing in movies, and they can see the wood for the trees. That cinema's going to die, and the only way they're going to survive is by other ways.
I think it's interesting, Netflix are bringing more and more content out. Disney now seem to be pushing that. We've got a new season of The Simpsons coming at the end of the week. So it's going to be really weird seeing a Disney-fied Simpsons. Is it going to be watered down, or are they going to go for it? And I think it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah,
in fact, I will put my bottom dollar on it that we're going to have lots of Simpsons crew digs at Disney, and rightly friggin' so.
Well,
so
talking of things going straight to streaming, and because of the coronavirus, it couldn't go to the cinema, and something that needed to be released before the election was Borat 2. And fuck me, wasn't that great?
What a film.
I opened beer with a small hole.
Cinque. What a film that was.
I've got to say, hand on heart, I have never enjoyed someone having a period so much in all my entire life.
And Moonblood starts. Yes. Do the Moonblood dance. It will be very effective. Unbelievable. What a film.
Former mayor of New York, Rudy Giuliani. He was just getting rid of his microphone,
just adjusting his zip,
and cough.
just tucking his shirt back in. Nothing to see here.
That's it.
Amazing.
Definitely nothing else. Nothing else
amazing.
He
going
was
on at all.
expecting a hand job or blow job at the least, wasn't he? There's no doubt about it.
It's an amazing film, and actually, how important was that film considering what we're going through now, with a complete lack of knowing who the next president is going to be. Although it looks like Biden is going to sneak over the line, and rightly so, because you've got to count all the votes. Yeah, just an amazing film, unbelievable.
Although, I am the president of America if I say I'm the president of America. That's the age where it's voter fluid. We're in voter fluid times, and I am the president of America if I say the McDonald Trump. I am the president of America. Your Führer.
He's not going quietly, is he? He's just not going to go quietly.
No, it's ridiculous. If he can, if he can launch the nukes just as he's leaving or something, the petulant child McDonald Trump will do so. It's fantastic.
I was watching a thing on YouTube about Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah, we saw what you were watching on YouTube, and you filthy, filthy man.
Now, but you used blue tack.
And it was this thing on Hollywood Reporter, and you got Jim Carrey and Sacha Baron Cohen there, and I think Don Cheadle and Henry Winkler and Ted Danson. They were sat around like a round table. And they were asking him, how does he do it? Because Jim Carrey was like, "You've just got balls of steel to do this." and he talked about what he sort of getting himself into character, because they were saying, well, what if you get it edges closer to you getting found out? And he just says, I go more and more into character to make sure that I don't, because the last thing you want to do if you're that close to think, hang on, the guy's going to punch me or shoot me. The last thing I want to do is go, all right, I was only joking. He said, no, you can't do that. That makes it worse. You've got to stay in character. But some of the stuff in there, I mean, what a way to get people to just tell you how they really thinking. Going to a cake shop and having a racist slur just casually put on a cake like it was no problem.
Smelly. Jews will not replace us.
Jews will not replace us. Like, what?
Oh, and he turned up at that Jewish thing, what they called now, I forgot. The
synagogue.
Synagogue. Oh. The way he was fucking dressed.
The
big nose and a bag of cash.
Never broke character.
Yeah, because she was lovely. That Holocaust survivor.
I mean, God bless her, rest in peace and everything. She passed on. She looked really, great for a Holocaust survivor and everything.
Yeah.
You expect just to be looking much older, but she was lovely and just really nice person, full stop. Her and the babysitter were just in a film that really just showed people how they actually are. It wasn't just taking the piss, it was actually showing people for what they actually think. And you had two people in there who were genuine human beings that just showed themselves as people aren't all bad. This woman actually cared about the daughter and was trying to do the best for her. And the other woman just wanted to forgive people and be nice to everyone. Thank God. You've got some, in a time when the world feels like it's going to shit in a handbasket at the moment, it's like, thank God there's some decent folks out there.
We no longer do Running of the Jew. We no longer do Running of the Jew. We now do Running of the American.
But I put baby in.
Yeah. My dad put baby in me. He what? He put baby in me.
You keep calling him your father. You keep calling him your daddy. You heard daddy? Yes.
That guy with the fax machine.
The
fax machine guy, he was.
Jesus, the guy with the fax machine. So he said he's going to cut your balls off. He's going to kill you. Okay.
He's going to tie you to cows, then lure them away with turnips and rip you in half. Angry face. And what's he say? It's a picture of his penis.
and another thing I thought about as well, when the crate gets delivered and that bloke helps him open it, and the woman and his daughter comes out, and then he helps him close the crate back up,
seal it back up,
and takes the money.
Where's Johnny Chimp? Johnny Chimp.
Yeah, she's eating Johnny Chimp.
Your number one children's entertainer, porno star.
It's just an unreal film, just from beginning to end.
Sacha Baron Cohen does have balls of steel, though. I mean, Jesus, to do that. The 5 days with the two redneck guys. And
Oh.
the two redneck guys, though, okay,
Yeah.
they hold some bloody strength. But when he starts going on about, no, women are just the same as us. Women have got the same rights as us. And you don't expect that from redneck guys.
The
Yeah.
thing is, right,
Don't
it was a
quite
total,
right with it, but-
total accident being with those guys for 5 days. Because he bumped into the bloke and he just wanted to speak to someone because it was lockdown had just started. There was no one around. The first bloke he goes up to, he says, "Where is everyone?" He says, the coronavirus are in lockdown. Oh, right, so where is everyone? Everyone's got to stay home. I haven't got a home. Can I come to your place? Sacha Baron Cohen was actually expecting the guy to turn around and say, "No, fuck off." And he turned around and said, "Yeah, okay, you can." And they didn't know what to do, so they went.
Yeah, once again, bit of faith in humanity. People that you don't expect to be decent were decent.
And he's there
Thank God.
twatting the coronavirus with a frying pan. There's virus. There is virus.
And
No,
they
you
helped
can't see
him
it.
write that Wuhan flu song as well, which was
Oh,
the down the well hilarious.
just an amazing. I didn't think it could top the first one. I really love the first one.
It does
But this
top
one
the
was
first
just.
one.
This one was just better. It was just amazing.
I
loved
don't know. This was a better film, but the first one's still funnier for me. But we'll do a franchise wars with Sacha Baron Cohen funny films.
Yeah, because he's been in a few things. I mean,
the two Borats, Bruno, Dictator, and the Brothers Grimsby.
Yeah. I'm happy to do
but
that.
but yeah, I loved Borat. It was an astonishing film.
I didn't expect it to be good. I didn't expect the second one to be as good as it was. I really didn't. I watched it. I thought, oh Christ, it's gone straight to streaming. But there was a big reason for it going straight to streaming. That film had to go out before the election. It had to. It was just brilliant. It was wonderful. I laughed. I cried. I laughed. I cried some more. I puked. I shit. I laughed. I cried some more, and I puked again. It was hilarious.
It was great.
Hurt.
It was great. But yeah, I'm with you, Mark. The bit that I just sat open mouthed at going, Jesus, was the debutante ball and the moon dance. I actually thought that there was a moment in the debutante ball that was more that was almost as shocking as that, where Borat's in character as that Duke or whatever, and he turns to that guy and says, "Oh, what do you think of my daughter? How much would you give for my daughter?" And he goes, $500. And the guy's daughter hears and says, "You're disgusting." And you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's right.
The ball was set up because they didn't go to a real ball. They had to actually set. They couldn't find one, so they actually did all that. They hired the place and they did all that themselves. And I think they paid people for coming in and doing it. But the people were genuine. They weren't paid as actors or anything doing it. They were fathers and daughters going there doing it, but they hired it and set up the place. So, I mean, when the daughter did that, I love that. You fucking disgusting.
It was amazing.
$500,
So, yeah.
thank you very much.
So, yeah, that you've just got to see it. If you've not seen it, those who may or may not be watching this, just go and watch it.
We completely spoiled it for you here. Yeah.
Yeah. If
Oh,
you've not seen it,
Kazakhstan's plan was to kill everyone with the Wuhan flu.
Oh.
And
As I said,
Borat was the one.
it's more of a movie than the first one was. It's more together and structured as a movie.
Yeah.
It was
great.
Tom Hanks, bastard.
McDonald Trump, though. Why the hell had nobody ever thought of McDonald Trump before? Just Jesus Christ.
The interruption of that Republican convention as well is quite scary.
That video I linked you to where he's gone to somebody's house as a joke and they go and say, "Come and meet my girlfriend," and she's going, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And say, "Why is she saying she wants to fuck me?" Oh God. That was just wonderful.
Brilliant.
Is that the one where he turns up and takes the door off the car?
Yeah, off the Lamborghini. It's this cheap car. I have a truck. No, this is a very expensive car. No, it's not. And the gumball machine.
The gumball machine. And he said, "There you go. I'll save you 20 cents."
Smash it.
I love him. It'd probably be the last time we do see Borat, but because he was being recognised, wasn't he? But what a way to go out.
That's all. He'll probably be another, 15, 20 years down the line, and then he'll drop another surprise one.
That's amazing.
He turned around only a few years ago and said, no, there definitely won't be another one. Definitely won't be another one. He never had the Azamat guy in there, said he was going to make another film and said it'll be a small role in there. But that Azamat guy wanted more cash for doing it and whatever. Best thing he did was dropping him and bringing the daughter in, because she was bloody wonderful.
Was it Maria Balakova or something?
She was fantastic.
Yeah, she was as good as him. She was amazing.
I mean, she wasn't quite as good as him, but she's very much there.
Isn't the bloke from the
really well?
Isn't the bloke from the first one the landlord in Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
I sat there going, it's Azamat Bogatov.
Azamat Bogatov. Yes.
Just amazing.
In this one.
Yeah. He's in it anyway. That turned him into a chair.
Yeah, he's sat on his cock. Great success. Borat, we loved it. It was amazing. Go see it if you haven't watched it.
How much heart did it have in it as well? That was he did a bit in the first one where you kind of feel for him, but he does a surprisingly nice job of turning just real kind of almost YouTube prankster gross out stuff and then giving it some heart at some point as well, and you really care about the characters and just bloody hell, finally this guy who's just completely sexist, rather a bastard towards women, and he just loves his daughter. It's wonderful stuff.
Oh, I loved it. So what have we got to look forward to next? So we've got a few more franchise wars. We've got Christmas coming up, and we've got 4 weeks of lockdown. The joy knows no end.
I'm looking forward to lockdown so much. I fucking really enjoyed the last one.
Well, I'll tell you what, during lockdown, if you're watching this stuff again, I really highly recommend Amazon Prime have really picked up they've just done a lot better. They're terrible at advertising what they're doing. Bloody awful. You have to search for everything that they do. That's great. But The Boys Season 2, wonderful stuff. Fantastic. Gross, funny, action-packed, brilliant. That's excellent. The Truth Seekers, though, the Simon Pegg, Nick Frost job, that is wonderful. It's kind of British X-Files, really hits the spot that Doctor Who used to do. If you just don't like the New Who, if New Who makes you boo-hoo, this really will hit the spot for you, because it feels like the old stuff. It's cracking. It's really, really good. Half-hour show. The comedy's really good, very British. Don't go in there expecting Shaun of the Dead. It's not that. It is their sort of very British take on the X-Files, and it's heavily sliced up with that old Doctor Who sort of feel. It's really good. All the cast is excellent. Malcolm McDowell, how the hell do you get Malcolm McDowell in there? That's fantastic. Really excellent casting. I loved it. I've watched the whole series, 8 of them, half-hour apiece. I've watched it twice. It's wonderful.
Have you seen any of those, Mark?
No, I'm just too busy going through
making wax.
Yeah,
making bath bombs.
Making wax and bath bombs. We're watching Vikings at the minute, and we've been on halfway through season 6 in a matter of 4 weeks. We're watching 3 or 4 episodes a night, and they're an hour each. We're just we can't go to bed. We've got to see what happens next. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, this is like that. Half hour, you'll get laughs out of it. You'll get bits of horror. You'll get bits of sci-fi and that. Just cracking. Really, really good.
See, for me, season 8 of Modern Family's just arrived on Netflix and Prime, so we're getting back into that again. Yeah, I forgot how funny that is.
I'm waiting for season 10 to drop, because I'm going to have to download it, I think, the final season, because I can't wait to watch that.
Yeah.
But one program I did love, and I know Martin, I don't know if you watched all 3 seasons or just the first season. But Dave,
I watched the first season, didn't realise they'd done 3 seasons. I watched the second season last week, and I've got the 3rd season to go. Future Man, I'm assuming you're on about.
Yeah, Future Man, Dave. Oh, he's fucking. It's one of the. It is so fucking clever, and he's just aimed at us. It really is aimed at us. It's fucking wonderful. And
it's another one. Excellent casting.
The character Wolf is just wonderful.
What's it on?
It's on Amazon Prime, and you would.
It is on Prime. I've not
I'll
seen
tell you
it.
what, it's one of them things that they should have
Amazon Prime is
promoted the
terrible,
fuck out of it.
terrible for not letting you know about stuff.
It is great. I mean, I watched it all with Bryony, and it was a bit like, oh, probably shouldn't be watching some of this with Bryony, especially that first episode. But I just thought, what the fuck?
What the cock swapping?
Oh, there's so many. The first season is more about taking the piss out the Back to the Future and time travel, and the second series is more about taking the piss out of Mad Max and post-apocalyptic stuff, and the third season is just like they take the piss out themselves, and it is just fucking great. God,
but you said as well, it's a full story as well. There's no,
yeah, it is.
You don't finish it thinking that, oh well, what's going to be more? You think, oh no, that's a complete story there.
Yeah, and one of the most satisfying things I've ever seen at the end of a series is the title cards to the last episode. Can't spoil it for you, but it's fucking hilarious. You just wait until you see it. It's brilliant. Really fucking clever stuff from beginning to end. And what I like about it, right, is they don't forget anything they've set up in previous episodes, and they go back 7 or 8 episodes and pick up something and make it current, and it works. They don't fuck anything up. It's just great. It's
another Seth Rogen, Evan Goldberg one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, same as Preacher and same as The Boys. And they've got a knack for that. Maybe it's because Seth Rogen, being a former comedian or whatever as well, the idea of just picking up a joke and running with it and then going back to it and doing the recall later on. Fantastic.
It's such a shame it's gone, but I could easily watch that all again.
I shall get onto that. Excellent. Future Man. I shall. That's one for me to get cracking into. Brilliant. Thank you. Well, there we go. That's the roundup. That's all done. It was nice to see that you enjoyed Bottom again after all these years, Martin.
Oh, it was so damn good. Trick or treat, no sweets, just cash.
I loved it. Yeah.
Well, we showed them, how to beat the crap out of us.
Yeah.
Did you two ever watch that film Freaks I mentioned in lockdown?
Oh, God, yeah.
Did you watch it, Dave?
That's excellent. No. That's excellent as well.
Yeah, brilliant film.
Really, really enjoyed that. That was a corker.
I'm currently rewatching.
Right doing it. I can't remember his name now.
I'm currently rewatching The Walking Dead. And have you started on the second spin-off, The World Beyond, Mark?
No, I'm going to do Fear the Walking Dead first, and then do The World Beyond. But I've got to say, yeah. The opening episode of Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 was probably the best Walking Dead full-stop episode in a very, very long time of either series. It was why don't they do it like this all the time?
I've gone back
to end, and then you just then the next episode I just know it's going to be a fucking.
I've gone back and obviously seen the in terms of The Walking Dead, I'd seen the end of the Whisperer War, and that was a shocking episode, that last episode of Series 10. But going back and going through them again, and you forgot how good it was when you were getting into Series 3 and they've just gone into the prison. That's where we are. And you think, this is when it got really good. And you could easily do a 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning going, I need to see what happens next. Turtle's just had his leg off. And this was when it was good. Isn't it amazing? They went, they did the governor, then they did those really weird cannibal guys. But when it got to Negan, that for me should have been its absolute peak. And it just lost its way and never recovered. And no wonder they're doing a final series of it. And my issue with Fear the Walking Dead, Mark, my God, that I was thinking, here we go, Morgan, this is it. Halfway through that series with Morgan, my goodness me, it's a cure for insomnia, that. Jesus, like something happened. It was so dull. Really disappointing.
The first 2 series were slow, but I enjoyed the 3rd series. And then the 4th series went slow again. And then 5 just didn't know what it was doing. But this first episode of this season, I just know it's going to be a letdown afterwards.
Yeah, I've only ever watched like a couple of episodes here and there in various seasons. and it's never gripped me, full stop. From the first series, the first season, any of them, none of it's really gripped me particularly. It hasn't been bad what I've seen, but it's never been enough to keep me coming back and watching it. I certainly wouldn't watch it to the extent of, Christ, well, I hated that season. I wonder if the next one will be good.
The only other thing I've seen,
I've watched other stuff instead.
The only thing I've seen properly from beginning to end, and it's a complete story, is the Channel 4 series Humans. That was good. I enjoyed that. That might be worth.
Great actors as well again. Oh, speaking of Channel 4 series, they're doing the Utopia as well, aren't they, on Amazon?
Amazon.
A whole new series. It's not a remake of the Channel 4 one. It's a completely new imagining of it.
Piss me off. This is about to stop, so fuck off. Bye. Yay.
Yeah.
Right, back in a sec.